Okay, as the next thing in our verbal de-escalation series, we're going to go through some de-escalation concepts. Once again, I recommend reading some books up on this topic, such as George Thompson's Verbal Judo. But some of the concepts I've come along just doing research through various sources. One, when you find somebody who's getting angry, it's important to validate them. You want to recognize how the hostile individual feels and acknowledge it. You can say something like, hey, I see you're angry right now. I'm here to hear what you have to say. You have a right to feel any way you're feeling. You got to validate them until they feel like they're validated, not until you feel like you validated them. You usually get some sort of physical release from them, like an exhale or shoulder facial expressions. It's important to know too, like when you're saying something to somebody, it's not even just that you're saying things, it's how you're saying them, since about 90% of what's perceived is your body language, your tone, because you could say the same words in different body language and tone, and it can have polar opposite effects on them. So it's important to be mindful of not just what you're saying, but your posture, your body language as you're saying that. And that's a very good thing to practice as an exercise with people too, like as you're trying to calm somebody down. You want to work on being able to be in control, especially if you're if your adrenaline's running as well, to be able to be in control of that. Number two, find options. After you validate them, you want to help them explore options so they realize any impulsive or violent action they're thinking of doing, they could do, but will have consequences. So how about these things as alternative? So you could do that and get in trouble, ruin your life, or you could walk away, or you could sit down and talk about it. We'll find better ways to hear your concerns. So they would see that they don't have just that option of escalating into more violence. Number three, allow for choice, and that's very important. So you respect your free will, and whatever you do is on you. This gives them the space to make more rational choices, and they don't feel pushed into a decision. They don't feel manipulated by you towards going a certain way. They don't feel backed into a corner then, and they're going to be more likely to think rationally, and it'll help calm down their fight or flight. Some extra techniques would include respecting their personal space while maintaining a safe position and posture, like with your stance and your hands up, and like in a very non-threatening posture, hands up. So you're ready to protect yourself, but it's in this way, you can help them calm down. Not in your hands up with clenched fists is going to be more likely to escalate into a fight. Do not be provocative with speech or posture, and that's also kind of dependent. You got to read the situation. Most of the time it's better to not be provocative with it in order to calm things down. You want to establish verbal contact and use some of these concepts, so it's better if you're able to talk to them. You want to be concise and keep your messages clear and simple. You want to keep everything short and to the point when you're trying to calm things down. You want to identify their wants and feelings. You can repeat back to them what they say in terms of paraphrasing. And we're going to go into a whole video on paraphrasing then and how to do that. But that's very important, where they can start to understand that you see that you understand what they're upset about. You want to listen to what they're saying and practice active listening and not just constantly be thinking about your response. So actually hear what's making them upset, and it might give you a better advantage on being able to deal with it. You want to agree with them. And there are many different ways you can agree with somebody. You can agree with them in truth. Like if something's terrible, you can say, yes, this also sucks. I get it. Like you can agree on principle with somebody. You can say, yes, I agree. Everybody should be treated with respect. You can agree on odds. You can say, yes, I know there are a lot of people that feel the way you do. Or you can agree to disagree. And this should all be genuine, whichever one of those you pick should be situation dependent, but as long as you can make that feel genuine. After that, you have to lay down the law and set clear limits, stating their actions are making you uncomfortable, or if their actions continue to get worse, something could happen, like they could be arrested if they escalate into assault, and they could be heading down that direction. They don't want to do it, and again, you can present them their options. 9, you can offer them choices and optimism. So it's like, we can do this instead, we can walk away, or I know who can help with this problem, or you can just be honest, I'm not sure how to help, but let's write this down and we can work on helping out a way to resolve this kind of problem. And then once again, you always want to make sure at the end, allow for choice and give them that space to make it, and don't make it a power struggle, or that'll continue to escalate that. So for an exercise for the class, you guys can practice dealing with somebody who's hostile towards you for some reason. So you can use certain examples, like somebody comes up to you, like, hey, that was my drink you spilled, or hey, that's my parking spot. You just might have pulled into somebody's spot. Hey, you're in my way. Or like, yo, you looking at my girl. Hey, you cut me off. Maybe if it was like a traffic situation. Somebody comes up, what's your problem? Somebody comes up and say, you always do or you never do, insert something. Hey, I don't like the way you, and you insert something. Hey, stop doing, and somebody comes up and they insert, and you can come up with various situations to fit your personal circumstances. Somebody says, hey, back up, and that's a situation. Or, what are you looking at? So there's a couple examples of things that you guys can practice with as an exercise for the class. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one.